Okay, just before Josh starts to go through these most important questions about Quooker boiling water taps, I'd just like to give you a little bit of a history lesson about them. And in a way this reflects my character a little bit, because some people say I'm rather cautious. Now if I take you back 12 years, a lady walked into the showroom and said to me, "Robin, what do you think about these new boiling water taps?" Now being a bit cautious, I went, "Ooh, do you really want one of those? What about your grandchildren coming in thinking it's cold water to drink and turning on the boiling water? And I mean, how many kettles can you really buy for the cost of one of these taps? No, I don't really think you want one of those." Now I managed to get away with that for a little while, but eventually a lady came in and demanded that we did one of these boiling water taps for her. Anyway, we went ahead, we did it, and the next week my fitter came back in and said to me, "Robin, can I buy one of those boiling water taps please? I think they're fantastic." Which obviously made me sit up and think a bit, so we put one on display, got to know all about it, and nowadays I must admit in 50% of our kitchen projects we're introducing boiling water taps. That's great, and for those cynics out there who think it's just a fad that will disappear, I'd like to take you back a little bit further in history to 1973. Now yes, I was still designing kitchens in 1973, and I had people coming into my showroom then saying things to me like, "What do you think about these newfangled dishwasher things?" And Mr. Cautious would say, "Do you really want one of those? I mean, what are they going to do to your pots? I mean, and how many bottles of Fairy Liquid could you buy for the price of one of these dishwashers? Nah, you don't really want one of those." Well, obviously, moving on now to 2020, I would suggest to you that dishwashers are prevalent in nearly every single kitchen we do. And it's my belief in 10 years' time, the same is going to apply to boiling water taps. They'll just be as prominent in fitted kitchens as dishwashers and even fridges. Anyway, enough of me, over to Josh where he's going to answer these three most important questions that you need to know about Quooker boiling water taps. See you later. Bye bye.
Hello, I'm Josh and welcome to the Kitchen Design Experts, the channel that teaches you everything you need to know about kitchens, about bedrooms and about home offices. Today I won't so much be talking about the many uses of the Quooker Tap, but instead we'll have a video running up here going through all of those many varied uses. On to the three questions that we get asked by our customers about the Quooker Tap. Number one, why Quooker and not one of the many other brands out there? Well, firstly, Quooker invented the boiling hot water tap. They've been trading for over 30 years, and in that time have gained a lot of experience, honing their product into the product that it is today. They are the only company that can truly boast having 100-degree water out of the spout of the tap. They are the only company that uses a stainless steel high pressure vacuum, making it the most economical of all the other makes. It's the only tap that has the water come out in an aerated manner rather than just a solid jet like a kettle would out of the tap. And they also have the unique push and turn mechanism to turn the tap on and off. It comes in many different styles, including a traditional one. You can have the nozzle pull out at the end. You can even have filtered, sparkling, hot, cold, boiling, all out of the same tap. But that's in the Quooker Cube, and we'll be doing an entire video about that. Second question, is it expensive to run? Well, to give you an idea, the insulated tank keeps the water at a constant 108 degrees under pressure. Now, to maintain this level of standby energy, it uses about 10 watts, which is similar to that of your internet router. Also, when you're using your Quooker Tap, you would use exactly the amount that you need for whatever it is that you're doing. Whereas if you were to use a kettle, you would boil your kettle, use a bit, let that water cool, maybe boil it again later. And to give you an idea, if you were to boil your whole kettle, you use about the same amount of energy as you would keeping your fridge running for about 7 hours. But down to the real nitty-gritty of exactly how much does it cost. So let's say you have a 3 litre insulated tank And to keep that in that standby mode, you're looking at about 3 pence a day, and that includes using all 3 litres of water. If you were to use an extra litre, then it would cost an extra penny, and keep on going from that. So it's going to beat your kettle hands down. It's also planet friendly, because if you were to add the filtered water to the system, then you don't have to buy those countless plastic bottles for drinking water. Finally, on to the third question. Is it safe? Now, this was my father's original reticence to sell the Quooker Tap, but yes, it is safe. In fact, in many cases, it's safer than your kettle is. There's a few reasons for this. One, if you were to boil your kettle, pour your cup of tea, and then leave the kettle on the worktop, sometimes maybe a bit too close to the front of the worktop, where prying hands could quite easily grab it and pull down, which is obviously going to cause damage. Whereas your tap is fixed to the back of the worktop, making it a bit more difficult for those prying hands to get to. Also, simply to turn the tap on in the boiling sense anyway, you have to push down twice and turn. And that mechanism is separate to just the cold tap, if you wanted to use that, which again makes it a bit more difficult to accidentally turn on. And also, for me, quite an important one is that aerated flow we were talking about earlier, rather than a constant stream of water like a kettle. So, and I wouldn't suggest you try this too many times, but I have done it in the past when I'm selling the Quooker Tap, is you can run your hand underneath at a pace that you would never be able to with a kettle. And I've done it, and obviously it's hot water. You do have an impetus to run your hand away, but you can get away with it without any scalds or burns. Now again, don't do that, but I've done it, is all I'm saying. Now, they are the 3 most commonly asked questions. Now, I'm sure you'll have many, many more questions, whether that be, is the water fresh? What kind of tanks can you get? What's a combi tank? What kind of pressure do you need to even have a Quooker Tap? Well, any of these that you have, do put them in the comments box below, and we will get back to you, we promise. A final note from me about Quooker Taps, and one of the reasons that I really like them, as a designer really, is because if I'm planning a contemporary kitchen, say, where you want to declutter everything, not have this lovely sleek looking kitchen, nice island say in the middle, and then plonk your kettle in the corner. That doesn't work for me personally, so for that, that's a tick as far as I'm concerned. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you could consider subscribing and liking our channel, that would be fantastic. Okay, have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.